the photos that are sent over of pornographic material, unbelievable, Michael. And it makes me wonder, what's the relationship with Mello and the accused? Because, look, I hear that there's going to be some very powerful forensic evidence linking the defendant to the crime scene. And one has to think, why? Was it money? Was it payment? Was it extortion? I don't necessarily know right now as to why the accused would do something with the limited connection to the victim. So I have a lot of different questions, but if the forensics are there to put the defendant's biological specimen in the crime scene, he's going to have a very difficult problem explaining that.
Yeah, there's no question about it. He's got a lot explaining to do, which I don't think he's going to be successful in. But when you talk about a connection here, according to the prosecution's opening statement, David, they almost have to prove two motives, because they're saying Zachary Hughes was friends with John Mello, and he was acting at the behest of him, saying, I want you to go harass her. Right. And as things started to look bad in the child custody case, he acted on his own to go and kill this woman to help this guy Mello out. So not only do they have to show a motive that he wanted to help Mello, but they have to show Mello's motive as well, because he's the one that's sort of egging this whole thing on. I think that's what this particular witness is sort of pointing to, this idea that this guy also had motive to want this woman dead.
I agree. I mean, Mello's motive has been shown already with the limited testimony we've heard. This is every lawyer's worst nightmare, Michael, that there is some pro se litigant or there's some party that is having unilateral communications and obscene, repetitive, overboard. Look, that's really the worst nightmare of an attorney, having to deal with someone like that. And this is what she was dealing with. That's Mello. But Mello's not on trial right now for this murder. It's the accused. So that's what they're going to have to do, is now show that Mello's the bad actor and has the motive, but linking the accused to Mello is going to be the next bridge that's going to be required for the prosecutor, for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I couldn't agree more with your comment about this being the worst nightmare of any attorney. I'm thinking the same thing as this attorney is explaining, how do you deal with something like that? Somebody putting this type of stuff out there is just really just a nightmare, as you said. All right, David, stand by.
Luckily, my state,
I'm sorry, say that again, David?
Luckily, my state recently passed a protective order that allows for non-domestic violence relationships to still get a protective order outside the Domestic Violence Act. So that would be a situation where somebody could try to get it for harassment or cyber harassment, even if we're in an attorney capacity.